Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do the tagged 13 witchy questions. It was started by Whimsy Meadows. I think it was started by her. And if I got that wrong, please let me know. In the background you will see my two cats. We have Yuna over here and Liana back there. So this might be full of loud cat noises. So the first question is, what do you collect a lot of? And I collect a lot of turtles, stones, and Funko Pops. And um, here is one of my stones that actually has a turtle on it. Let me get it in frame there. And I don't know what kind of stone this is. I was told it was jasper. I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not. It doesn't look like jasper to me, but it could just be a very imperfect form of jasper. What is she doing? She's sniffing things, and her collar was making noise. And as you saw, it has a little turtle on it, so. And these are probably two of my favorite pops. It's Glenn. They call this one Prison Glenn with his little gun, and this is the Hot Topic exclusive Jareth from Labyrinth. So those are things I collect. I also collect movies, but those are like the big stones, turtles, and pops. Those are my big things. Do I have a spirit animal, and if so, how did you discover it was yours? I don't really use the term spirit animal because it is very appropriative to very specific Native American cultures, and several Native American people have told me that using that term, it's a sacred term and it's kind of a bastardization of what a spirit animal really is, like the Western way we do it. But I tend to use maybe Animal Guide, or I like Patronus from Harry Potter. I think that's a fun way to look at it. I would have to say probably turtles. I've always found turtle things. I have a tattoo of two turtles. So if there's any animal that I felt a connection to, it would be turtles. Octopus are big ones for me. Any kind of cephalopod, really. Next question is, do I have a favorite crystal or stone? And can I show? I have a fit in general. I really like. I was looking over here to see if I have one. In general, I really like rose quartz. I don't have a particularly favorite piece of rose quartz that I have. I'm always looking for new rose quartz. Um. So yeah. I also like crystal or clear quartz as well, which I do have a nice point of. Uh, just a regular quartz. It's a nice kind of odd shaped point, like a broken point. Number 4 is, do you play any instrument, and if so, what kind, and show it. If not, is there an instrument you would like to learn to play and why? I don't play any musical instruments. I tried to learn trumpet in like 7th grade. Didn't it didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Um, Trumpet just wasn't my instrument, and the teacher wasn't that great. He didn't really like me for some weird reason. I'm not really sure. It was a 7th, 8th, 9th grade was all very difficult for me as a student, so I always felt like the teachers didn't really understand me, And the school that I went to, this is getting a little into it, but the school that I went to, the music teachers, so the choir teacher, the, you know, band teacher, any of that, was the same teacher for all the schools in the district. So from elementary through high school, it was the same teacher. So, of course, it's easy to build a relationship with a student that you've had for 7 years prior to, this new kid who's trying to pick up a new instrument. So it didn't go over well. Trumpet, I didn't really like it. As far as wanting to learn how to play, I've always wanted to learn how to play bass. I've always thought that bass was a really cool instrument. Um, I'm still looking at them, and I want to learn how to play ukulele. I think that's really fun. Um, Number 5 here is, do you have a book of shadows, and can you show it and tell us one entry from it? I really don't have a book of shadows. It's not something that I've ever really sat down and taken the time to go through and make sure all my correspondences are there and candle colors and incense to use. It's more of a running collection of notes shoved into various folders. A lot of online stuff, a lot of bookmark pages, a lot of Word documents on, hey, I did this ritual, and it worked, so I'm gonna write it down. Um, yeah, I've never been able to collect it all in one book. 6 is, do you have a familiar? If so, what kind is it? And if you do not, but could have any kind of creature as one, what would it be and why? I don't currently have a familiar. When I was younger, 17, 18, 19, I had this cat, and her name was Nimrodel. But she was the runt of the group, so we called her Nimmy. And I got her when she was just a tiny little kitten, all fluffy and silly. And no matter what I would do, my altar at the time was very low to the ground. I used to sit in front of it, cross-legged, and she would come and sleep on my lap the whole time I was doing it. And if I had to move, if I had to get up, she would very gently get up and walk around, sniff things, but she never got into things or broke anything. Now I'm kind of seeing Liana take on that role. Nimi ended up living with my sister for a really long time, and she just died recently. Uh, she was about 14 or 15 years old. So it was kidney failure, and she passed. But I see Liana being very into everything. She likes to get on the altar. She likes to play with things. She likes to sit with me while I meditate. Anything that I'm doing, she wants to be with me. I don't know if that's just because she's a particularly cuddly cat, or if she wants to be my familiar, or if she just wants to have fun with me. I'm not really sure. 7, do you have any fears? If so, what are they? My fears are very weird. So I'm afraid of very, very large crowds. Like I have a really hard time going to uh, big fairs or any place that's really super crowded. That has to do with my anxiety. But I also have a fear of being alone or being unloved, and that's just a self-esteem issue. Um, I think being alone is not not being alone. I'm home by myself during that. It's being alone with no one to talk to, nobody to love me, nobody for me to love. So, yeah, I'm getting a little deep there. Number 8 is, has anything ever happened to you during a ritual that was either cool, interesting, or scary? Not really. I've always been able to communicate very well with my deities, and um sorry, my cat is meowing. Liana is meowing. Um so I've always just felt that communicating with my deities is very normal, and it's a thing that happens at all my rituals. I'm gonna try to get her up on my lap. Liana, come on. No? Okay. Well, fine. Usually I do that once and she's up on my lap. If you could teach a new witch anything, what would it be? That's number 9. Find history books related to the mythology you're interested in studying. Don't just pick up the first, you know, Silver Raven Wolf, you know, bullshit piece of crap book that mentions gods and goddesses. Look first at histories of the cultures and the religions that you want to study, and you'll get a better idea of the worship, especially if it's something like Greek or Egyptian or Roman, Celtic, any of those, especially Greek, because there's so many records of how the Greeks worshipped, and you'll get a better feeling for these ancient gods, because they're ancient gods, and you'll get a better idea of the culture that they were created in, and you'll be able to understand how to worship with them. And that's not to say that if, for example, one of the things that surprised me is I have a strawberry incense, and Minerva loves this incense. There is nothing in any book I have ever read anywhere that would suggest that Minerva likes strawberry incense, but she loves it with me. So yeah, read and then let your gods tell you. She keeps rubbing against my feet and she won't jump up on my lap. Number 10 is, what is your favorite thing on your altar or a must-have? I actually have 3 things. My altar, which is back there, is always really crowded, but when I'm doing a ritual, I have to have 3 things. I have my salt lamp. I have, which you can see, I'll just scoot over here. You can see my salt lamp. You can't see my cauldron because it's behind the salt lamp, of course. So I have the lamp and the cauldron and my octopus mug. This is my chalice for every single ritual I do. It keeps my beverages cold, and I usually drink cold wine or cold water, cold juice, and it doesn't sweat the way like a normal mug would. So I could fill it with ice and keep everything cold. She's sleeping in a shoebox. I keep talking about Liana, and she's not being cooperative at all today. So yeah, those are my must-haves on my altar for every ritual. Everything else can change except for those 3 things. Can you name 10 crystals or stones off the top of your head? That's 11. I did write them down, but I did write them down as I thought about them. So jasper, rose quartz, opal, jade, pyrite, aventurine, topaz, tourmaline, crystal quartz, and lapis lazuli. And those are just ones that I have on my altar that I could remember. Um, 12. If you could be any god or goddess, who would you be and why? My goddess is Vesta, and I would like to be her. I would very much like to have the energy and the abilities that she has. Um, it's just, she's so beautiful to me and so warm and the perfect home. Also, I like to think that if I was in ancient Rome, I would probably be a devotee of Vesta, maybe. I don't know how well I would do as that, but who knows. And the last question, number 13, do you have a favorite recipe or a family favorite you make? I make the most amazing seafood chowder. It's so easy. And I'm the kind of person who, if your, your tomato sauce or your beef stew or your seafood chowder hasn't been cooking for 10 hours, then don't even talk to me. So, in a big pot, you take frozen swai, because it's the only good thing that frozen swai is good for, and maybe 3 to 4 nice sized fillets. You cook it all up. You cook up bacon in a separate pot, and you keep the bacon grease and put it in. You chop up the bacon really fine, put the bacon in. I use heavy cream, milk, and chicken broth. Put that in. Put in 2 cans of corn. And then I season everything to taste. I'm trying to work through the steps here. And when it's almost done, like the last 10-15 minutes, you put in your chopped up potatoes, I use imitation crab meat because that goes on sale at a store that we used to live by for like buy one get two free, so you stock up. You add your shrimp and anything else any other seafood that you're gonna add. The last 10 minutes, and then it's the best thing. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves my seafood chowder. And those are the questions. If you watch this video, if you like the questions will be in the down bar. Um, Whimsy Meadows video will be in the down there. The down there. And the first video I watched was from Echo Foxpaw, so her video will be down below as well. So I hope you have a great day. I want to see more of these videos, so comment your video and I'll go watch yours, and we'll have a great day, and I hope everyone has a nice evening. Bye!